SBI has been using various innovative learning platforms with ICT integration and gamified learning concept. Going a step forward, the technology has been used to the fullest in engaging the children during lockdown. The online classes are being conducted through various platforms like Microsoft, Google Classroom, Zoom, and etc. And now we are getting ready with the plan to continue our online classes in June with more vigor and enthusiasm. I would also like to take this opportunity to appreciate our parents who have always been with us in all our initiatives and are no less than our teacher in supporting us and their words, especially in our online classes during lockdown. I hope our long journey will take the strides hand in hand and we will move forward with great hopes of crossing all the hurdles posed by COVID-19 crisis. As a moral responsibility to support our parents who really face a lot of challenges in parenting with respect to the academic, moral, and social dimension. This seminar has been arranged to have a right person at the right context. Here we have a great speaker, Mr. Vidya Shankar, Guru, founder, and CEO, Only Success Leadership. Vidya has been awarded with Indian Achievers Award for Industrial Excellence by Indian Economic Development and Research Association, and also Edupreneur of the Year Award by Times Group. He will discuss the parenting issue and the way to find the solution for the same. I hope we will have a great session. Over to you, Lakshmi. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, sir, for the great intro. Let me hand over the, session to Vidya. Vidya, please take over.
Thanks, sir. Very good evening, all of you. First of all, let me thank the management of the institute, GT Group of Institutions, Bharat Joshi, sir, for this wonderful opportunity to meet up with all the parents, Ramakrishnan, sir, for this great platform, and Sundar, sir. And at this point of time, when I'm actually connecting to all the parents, because this is something, a wonderful opportunity which I'm getting day in and day out to talk to hundreds of parents, talk to hundreds of teachers every day. One of the common thing, right, what I'm actually coming across is this: almost all of us right now has been going through something very common. The emotion, what we are actually experiencing right now is something very common, because it's almost the past 60 days, the kind of things what we are going through is unheard of. So what is that emotion? So are we going through a lot of trouble? I mean, I'm not sure exactly, is that a fact? Because if you ask, when you take the mankind in total, about 10% of them going through something which is very, very tough. We have to give hats off to a set of people like the police force, the people who do the sanitation for us, and then the doctors, right? All these set of people, about 10% of the mankind are going through something very tough. They are fighting for us, and they are helping us to be alive, right? So that is one part. Reminding 90% of us what emotion we are going through, what is it we are experiencing right now. It is one, when we actually first, because when the whole thing was happening, we thought it is very far off. It is just not closer to us, right? It was somewhere in China, maybe some place in some corner of the world, and then we saw only news clips, right? That is exactly how it started. And then we started seeing it happening relatively closer, right? It started happening in the same place where we are in, and then we started happening in our, seeing in our country, outside our streets. Now it's just so close to us, right? If that is the case, because this is all about the emotion what we are going through. The emotion what we are going through right now is the emotion of uncertainty. Uncertainty means we are not sure what is going to pan out tomorrow, right? I mean, if you check, there are times we have experienced uncertainty to some extent, right? See, in a scale of 1 to 100, we might have experienced uncertainty at like, say, 40, 50, or some of us even get jittery when uncertainty is at level of like 50, 60, right? You are not sure about, say, for example, your child's future. You are not sure about, say, certain aspects of your job, or not sure about your health. Then we get worried, we get concerned. But if you go ahead, check right now, the kind of uncertainty what we are going through. Uncertainty means this. Uncertainty means we don't know what's going to come, right? The kind of uncertainty what we are going through in a scale of 1 to 100 is over 90, right? Whether human mind likes uncertainty, yes or no? Definitely yes. We love uncertainty, right? That's why when you go into a roller coaster, why we actually laugh and cry, because you don't know what's going to come next, right? Or you walk into a movie, and then when there is a joke which is coming up on the screen, why are you actually laughing? Because it's uncertainty. It's, you always get used to certain pattern of thought, and that pattern is broken, and then your emotion changes. Human beings like uncertainty. We also like certainty, right? We also want certain amount of certainty in our life, right? But right now what happened is this: the intensity of uncertainty is so high, right? So high means we have never experienced something like this ever in our life. And it's not just us, right? I'm talking to you as a parent. It is not just us, obviously not our children. And if you go ahead, check even your parents, even they have not experienced something like this. And how I'm so sure of it? Because if you go ahead, check, certain things in our life happens because life works as a cycle, right? I'm sure you will agree with me, because if you take a day, there are certain things in which we go through in a day, right? I mean, sun rises in the morning. I mean, there is an evening. So it is a cycle, right? Similar to that, there are certain things which happens once in a week. There are certain things which happens once in a month. There are certain things which happens once in a year. There are certain things which happens once in a decade. And there are certain things which happens once in a century, once in 100 years. The event what we are going through right now is once in a century event. That's why I'm so sure none of us have heard of, none of us have even seen something closer to what we are experiencing right now. And if you ask, is it really 100 years? Exactly. 100 years back, 1919, we experienced something very similar. What in histories, you go back to history, check the pages of history, right? What you can learn, we had something called as a Spanish flu, 1919, right? Exactly 100 years back. So if you go ahead and check, that actually creates a surprise, that actually creates, we need to wonder like, oh, is it a cycle? Right? After 100 years, this is actually happening. And if you go ahead and check, that's why none of us have seen. So at this point of time, the key is this. I can understand you as parents, right? Because I have this wonderful opportunity in my life almost for the past close to 2 decades. I personally have worked with thousands of people, right? I have worked with thousands of parents specifically, and thousands of children. So I have authored a book on parenting, 101 Secrets of Effective Parenting. So if you go ahead and check, one of the biggest emotion of parents is this. Right now, because as a society, right, we are so much used to giving importance for education. Agreeing with me? Be it the good old days, I mean, what we call it as a Gurukul days, right? Or the Vedic days of India, where the children will be sent to the Guru's house, right? They stay there. They learn beyond education. They learn a lot of life skills. They actually support their Guru in all ways. That is like good old days, right? And then we moved on to the pre-British period, right? I mean, where all these innovations happened for India. So there we had an education system. And then British started bringing in their way of educating, which is actually creating a lot of employees. I mean, the education system, which will make people to listen to rules, right? That's what they've created. And then that one actually stayed post-independence. We have created our education system. And then what is happening right now? We are again in a major transformation phase. We have started talking about modern ways of educating children, where we have started inculcating something beyond subjects, right? Again, we are going back to the age-old days of where we realize subjects alone is not enough, and then we have to impart something. From there, now we are forced to migrate into something completely new, right? Where it is without meeting the teacher physically, we need to learn, right? That's something becoming a new normal, right? So if you check what is common among all these entire journey of a parent, entire journey is this: education when it comes to the Indian community is so important. Whatever you take, like 200 years back, 300 years back, we felt as a nation, we felt education is so important. Even today, it is no different. If I need to go ahead and tell a parent, they will easily accept, they will easily vouch my thought, yes, education is something important. But why is this session? I'm meeting up parents, I'm meeting up teachers every day. I'm meeting hundreds of them online, talking to them, answering their questions. So the biggest challenge is this. Biggest challenge is the uncertainty, what is coming up, how things are going to pan out, right? And the most interesting fact is, it is not just the parents who are uncertain. Even the rulers of the country is not sure what is going to pan out tomorrow. That's why none of the policies can be made so clearly, right? It is not just that. It is some of the biggest nations of this world are struggling, right? Be it economical issues, be it their education, be it their health issues. So they're struggling. So as we are moving forward, at this point of time, parents do have a huge responsibility. Parents' responsibility is phenomenal. So am I here to say that it is going to be very tough, that we need to lose hope? Not exactly, which I'm sure you are aware of it, right? Because I would like to recall one of the very first books I've actually read in the area of personal excellence. Because I stepped into this field of training others, empowering human lives, maybe about 15, 17 years back. But the kind of interest what I had in this field was almost over 2 decades back, right? Where I started reading a lot of books on personal excellence. One of the very earliest books what I've actually read is the title of the book was this: Tough Times Never Last, but tough people do, right? Tough times will not last, but tough people do. And that the author of the book was Robert Schuller. And that stays in my mind. When we were all going through this situation right now, that particular title was keep on coming to my mind, because I used to ask this question to myself. People have asked me this question: will we be stuck here for a long time, right? We will pass. We will go through this. We will pass through this situation. This is a tough time, but we will pass through it. So the question is this: as a parent, what is your biggest responsibility? What is it you have to do? I know as a parent, beyond a parent, you are an individual. Agreeing with me? I mean, which means what I mean by individual is you have your job, you have your career. Some of you may be running a business, right? So which means even in your career, in your job, in your business, there are a lot of uncertainties, right? You see people losing jobs. You see people are not getting used to this new normal, right? Where you need to do a lot of things from your home, and you have children. Because I just came across a lady who came up to ask me online a few days back, oh, I have a very small child, right? I used to leave my child in a play school and then go to work. But today what's happening is my child is there at home and I need to do my job online, and it's a mess, right? and she makes a lot of noises. I can't take up my call, and I mean, I'm finding it too difficult, right? What should I do, right? So if you go ahead, check. These are all the typical challenges, and our homes are not built for these kind of sessions, right? Our homes are built for living. We have never thought at some point of time, okay, this corner of my house, my child will sit and listen to, say, science classes, right? Maths classes. None of our homes has been built that way, right? If you take a typical Indian home, how it is, right? It's maybe a hall, maybe a kitchen, maybe if possible, 2 bedrooms, right? That's also fully occupied, where people are there, elders are there at home. That's how typical Indian household is, right? If that is the case, today you need to create a space for your child, or some of you may have to create a space for yourself for learning, for maybe attending your work at office, so all those sort of things. So it is a complete shift of behaviors which we have to adapt to. So at this point of time, I'll ask you parents, what is your biggest task? Your biggest task is this. I always believe, not because of this particular issue, what we are going through, particular challenge, what we are going through, I always believe parents are the translators, or they are the one who give a meaning to various events which happens around life, right? Parents are the one who say for example, a particular event is happening. I mean, I'm not talking about this. Say for example, say somebody is getting cheated, right? Or something else, you lose a particular item, or you win a particular item, or your child is stepping up to win something very great, right? So all those set of things, as the event happens, parents are the one who are in between, can help to translate what it means to the child, right? So I will always say parents are the one who are the translators, right? And I see parents of children from different age groups, right? I mean, I'm sure there are parents of very young children here. Very young means maybe primary kids, maybe there are also parents whose children are very elder ones, in the sense they've just taken up their board exams. Maybe luckily the 10th standard board exams for CBSE is done. But if we take parents of children who are taking up their 12th standard CBSE, right, still one more exam is to be completed. So I know what kind of, I mean, for good number of children, what kind of emotions you will be going through, right? You are not sure when the college education is going to start. So these are all the typical things what we are experiencing right now. So at this point of time, not only you, even your children are going through a lot of emotions. Believe me, it is true, right? I mean, younger kids may have some fun because it's a little long break, and say something what they thought can never happen is actually happening, because some of the children, oh, I will be at home kind of thing, so they are experiencing. So it's even some of them are not liking it because for a long time they have not met their own friends, right? And if you take elder kids, they are the one who go through a lot of emotional challenges. So at this point of time, typically, if you ask me, I come from the science of NLP, right? I'm a certified neuro-linguistic programming practitioner, right? If you go ahead, check, we used to classify children from 0 to 7 age group as, because that is the age of imprinting age. Imprinting means that is the time when belief systems are imprinted, right? When the belief systems are imprinted in a child's mind, right? So whatever they think is right, whatever they think is true, is actually imprinted in that particular age. So the children who are in that age group, right? The parents, you have to be very watchful on what you are telling. You need to be very watchful on kind of words what you are telling. Are you projecting too much of a gloomy experience right now of what is happening, or it is something else? I know it is too gloomy. There is so much of negativity, right? But you need to be very watchful of the kind of words what we use, the kind of translations what we do to the children on various events which are happening around us, right? And because I always used to challenge, you take challenges in the sense you take TV channels, right? I mean, not because of the current situation, even before. At any point of time, you flip through 100 channels, in over 90 channels, you will see something negative. Believe me, that is true. And today, the situation is almost all the 100 channels show something negative, right? And I'm not telling you, oh, you run away from it, you keep yourself away from it. But as we see these kind of experiences, as we go through these kind of experiences, it is high time we stay in between to give a right meaning to our children. Because children up to 7, the parents have to be very watchful of what you are telling them, because they completely believe what you actually tell them, right? And children between the higher age, right, predominantly the socializing age, one of the key challenge for them is they will be missing a lot of things, right? I mean, a good number of them just started connecting early ages, right? I'm talking about above 8 years kind of age, 8 to 12. See, they are the one who started connecting with their friends more, where they started experiencing more things from outside, right? Maybe their friends, their teachers. So the kind of interactions what they have may be far higher than children who are till 7, right? And children above that age, 14 kind of age, they may be missing a lot of their friends, and over that they may also be missing lot of the social connect, because some of them they may spend a lot of time getting connected online, doing something online, so they may miss out all those things. So they need more of parents interaction, parents connect at this point of time. And if you ask me, I will tell you one very powerful formula what I've learned from the science of NLP, right? Because always events do happen in life, we can't stop it, right? And very rarely these kind of intense events happens, right? We cannot even imagine, because if you think right now, almost no flights are flying anywhere. You can unheard of, right? No vehicles are moving for such a long time, right? So it's something what you cannot even dream of, what you cannot even think of, right? So at that point of time, if you go ahead, check, this particular event was unheard of. I mean, nobody has even thought of, right? So when you are going through this kind of event, the event you need to understand is equal to the outcome. E is not is equal to O, right? Understand this fact very clearly. E is not is equal to O, right? Event is not is equal to the outcome. Am I clear? Why I'm telling you this? Because whenever the event happens, we actually forget the fact that we have the choice to react. We have the power to choose how we want to react, right? You can't stop this event, right? It is a new normal, whether you want it or not. We are getting transformed to the new world. We are moving on to the new world. There are times I'm getting this question. Okay, all these things fine, right? When we will get back to our normal? We don't have an answer for it today, right? When we will get back to our normal? Not exactly. That is why across the globe, you check, every government started believing, every say medical professionals started believing it is going to be a new normal. If we can help ourselves to adapt to this new normal, we will be the winners, right? And if we say, no, I'll wait for things to get back to where I was before, we are not sure, because in history, these kind of situations have taken much longer time than whatever we can think of, right? Because 1919 is the only history closest we have. But relatively today, certain ways things were better, certain ways things are not better, because we travel more, right? So that changes a lot of dynamics among human life, right? So because of that, lot of things are not exactly the same like how it is before. So instead, what is actually the fact? What is the truth? The truth is this: event is equal to the outcome. Instead, I want you to realize event plus response is the outcome. And who chooses that response? You choose the response, right? You have the power to choose your response. The moment we realize we have that power to choose a response, that changes everything. That changes entire perspective. And believe me, you as a parent, you can pass on this same leverage to your children. The crux of what I want to convey to you today is this: never forget, whatever be the situation which we are experiencing right now, which we are going to travel through for maybe next set of months, thankfully, right? If we have to travel through some more months like this, you must have to realize the truth. The truth is this: you have the power to choose. The event is happening, event is going to happen, event may stay for longer, but you have the power to choose. I'm not here to say, yes, it is actually tough, it is actually difficult, but you have the power to choose, right? And if you go ahead, check a set of things. So at this point of time, right? So at this point of time, what I would like to share is this. So as I was mentioning, we may not have the power to say change the event, but we may have the power to choose something, right? Say that's why I actually believe in this powerful saying, God, give me the serenity to accept things which I can't change. Give me the courage to change the things which I can. And give me the wisdom to differentiate between the things which I can change and things which I can't change. This is something very, very important at this point of time, right? So it is for us to realize the truth, the fact that we have the power to choose. The moment you understand you have the power to choose, you become a better parent. Why? Because, say, I can recall some of the chapters from my 101 Secrets of Effective Parenting. So if you go ahead, check the fact, when we have intense negativity, right? When the situation is so negative, it is a must for us to learn to choose positive, learn to remain positive. I'll tell you why, right? And apart from it, this is the time for you to go ahead and teach your children how to feel thankful. Why it is so important? Because once you feel thankful, you cannot feel negative. Thankfulness cannot stay along with negativity, right? And it is must they need to feel thankful, because whereas we go through uncertainty, I also agree we go through fear, right? Many people go through fear, and the amount of fear what we go through and how we handle it makes a lot of difference. When it comes to fear, we can handle it in three ways, right? One is this, or even the uncertainty. One is this, we can get overpowered by fear, which means fear controls our life, everything, because I get this opportunity to interact with a lot of doctors online. I mean, a set of sessions I did with psychologists, 2 or 3 sessions I did with them. So one of the common thing what they are foreseeing or what they are experiencing a lot is fear towards fear, right? That's going to be something which they are handling a lot. So because what is happening is, because of this uncertain situation, if we allow the fear to control our life, we can't move forward. We can't move forward because you are not alone. I mean, everybody across the globe is going through what we are going through, right? So if we allow the fear to control what we are experiencing, so that is too tough, right? Fear controls our life. The second choice is this. The second choice, what we can do with fear, is where we remain indifferent. So what difference it makes for me? Because I'm also coming across people like that, where I am at home, I'm fine. So what difference it makes for me, right? Unfortunately, this is the same attitude what we pass on to our children. Because if you are safe, there are thousands of people putting their life online. I mean, if you look at what the migrant workers going through, you must have to feel thankful, right? You have to feel thankful for it. So teach your children, they must have to feel thankful. It is not just negativity alone. There are a lot of lessons to be learned at this point of time. Believe me, this experience is not going to come back ever in life. So make it as the best learning experience for your children. Make it as the greatest meaningful experience for your children. So lifetime, they need to feel thankful for where they are in life. Right? When you're sitting at home listening, when you are able to attend your classes, it has to be the intense thankfulness, right? So the number 2 is this: you can't be indifferent. Your children can't be indifferent to what is happening. That becomes denial. Let us accept the truth. It is a tough situation. It is unheard of. It is negative situation. No doubts on it. Let us not be indifferent to what's happening. And the third choice is this: let us allow ourselves to experience that uncertainty, experience that fear, so that we will use it usefully and move forward. See, if you don't have any fear, what happens? Assume you don't have any fear and drive your vehicle on the road. What happens? You don't even wear a helmet, right? And then you drive it. Exactly the same thing true in life. So you must have to have some fear towards what is happening. That helps you to learn from the situation. Because what is happening right now is the greatest teacher. Your children can learn wonderful lessons right now. So it is up to you to translate it in the most meaningful way. Up to you to teach them E plus R is equal to O. So share with them a lot of inspiring stories. Translate so many happenings around you into something inspirational, something very, very meaningful for them, which they will remember for life. Because when you are in intense situation, whatever you are going through, you will remember for life. So leverage the situation, make it something very, very meaningful. And there are parents who experience, my children are very resistant to a lot of ideas. I won't actually share a lot of things because nowadays, whatever we were actually craving for has been gifted to us, right? Many of us thought, oh, I want more time at home, right? I want weekends. So whatever you ask is given, right? You have enough and more time at home, unbelievable amount of time with your children, right? All those things have been gifted to you right now. So if you experience any resistance from your children, remember that we always say this: resistance means lack of rapport. If you don't have rapport, that's when children show resistance, right? Find out how to enhance your rapport, which means you need to do things what you have not done in the past along with your children. Do things which we always call it as which can break the pattern, right? So connect with them more, do certain tasks with them. That helps you to build that rapport. So see it as a lifetime experience, and staying positive is very, very important. Why is it so important? And you don't have a choice to feel negative. You don't have a choice. Why? Because understand what we are going through now. We don't have any vaccination, right? So only fact which medical science have accepted, because I have revalidated with a lot of doctors who were coming on online, talking to me on multiple forums. I have always revalidated this fact. So when there is no vaccination for us to fight against, only one thing which can prevent us is our own immunity, right? That's why there are a lot of people who are getting cured and walking away. That is a larger size. How is it possible? Because their own immunity levels are different. If your immunity system has to work really well, you need to feel positive. And if you ask me to name a term, the scientific term for it, it's called as the placebo effect. Placebo effect means this: how your mind controls your body, right? So once you feel positive, that is the only way you can control your immune system right now. Only if your immune system is working fine, you can protect yourself, because we don't have any medication to fight with, right? So it is highly critical for you to feel positive. And apart from it, see, if you ask some of the key challenges which parents go through today, which definitely I will expect certain questions from you with respect to the transformation, what is happening in learning process. And believe me, what we are experiencing right now is here to stay. Some of you expect, okay, this is a short-term thing. Okay, maybe whatever set of days we have to manage this online learning, it's fine. Not exactly. At least a hybrid learning. What I mean is a mix of physical classes and mix of online classes. And if you think, oh, it's too difficult, I mean, I'm not sure whether my child is able to learn. There are parents who have that doubt. Oh, they are getting distracted because they have multiple screens open. They are switching screens. We don't even know which screen they are using. So these are all the common queries which I hear from parents. I'm completely with you. Children are much smarter when it comes to the digital world, and that also makes it better for them, because that's why they are better learners than you and me when it comes to digital learning. So believe in their capability. One thing what has happened is, this one we can't stop, right? This kind of learning, no way we can stop. Maybe if you have not had this kind of situation, this should have happened 5 years from now or 10 years from now, right? But we were definitely there on that path. One thing is, we have speeded the whole thing by 5 years. What should have happened 5 years later, 10 years later, it's happening today, right? And some of you think, oh, it's difficult for me. Not exactly. I'm talking to teachers also. For them also, it's really difficult, right? There are teachers who find it too difficult to get on the online platform, because in a class it's very close, and there are teachers who teach younger children who actually feel why I came into the teaching profession is because I love kids, right? I love children, and I'm not able to meet them, right? And they really miss it. Because I always say this: every good teacher loves children a lot, right? So when you ask them, when there is a lot of restrictions to meet children, even teachers find it very challenging. Forget their technology challenges. Some of them finding it how to deliver a session online. Is it clear, or is the other person have understood? All these kind of challenges. Over that, the connectivity part. Connectivity, what I mean is the way they connect with children, right? That's also something which they are going through as a challenge. So these are all the things. So at this point of time, before I call it off as a session, these are all the new things which are coming up. So it is going to be a new world which we are landing in. So it is going to be a new normal. So as a parent, you need to transform yourself so that you will be ready for the new world, right? I mean, I feel kids are ready, right? Kids are already ready. Kids may like a lot of things, what is panning out. But as a parent, we have to be ready. We have to gear up. We have to go ahead and accept this new challenge, accept this new normal, accept this new way of leading life. And that is the way we can be the best parents. So with this, I will call this as a session, and I'll be definitely more than willing to take up the questions what I have. Yes, please.
Request the parents to post your question in the chat window so that the speaker can answer for you. Okay, parents, yeah, yes.
Maybe you can either post your questions, or I have few hands raised, Lakshmi.
Yeah, okay. I'm just unmuting them who are raising the hands.
There's one question: how to handle teenagers who are 5 years apart in age?
Okay. I mean, I'm not sure, is it any specific challenges you are referring to? Because
Farhat Jabin, Mr. Farhat Jabin.
I mean, teenagers 5 years apart, is there any specific challenge? Because unless otherwise you tell specifically this is a challenge what I face.
They have a different needs about TV and gaming time.
Oh, okay. Right. I mean, I'm definitely with you on this, obviously, because it's not just because of teenagers. Even a parent and a child do have it. I'm sure you will agree with me, right? Say many a times, say kids want to watch something else, the mother wants to watch something else, father wants to watch something else. It's nothing to do with because they are teenage kids, they are doing that. Because of teenage, we think, oh, because of teenage kids, because I always believe children, certain times when they say, oh, this is something I must have to do, because of the age, we may assume it is, oh, because you are a teenager, you do this. See, this is not just predominantly a teenage kind of issue. It's more kind of preference issues. As I said, once we talk to them more, right, whenever there is a resistance, believe me, it is lack of rapport, or rapport can be far better. I'm not telling you may not have the rapport, but it can be far better. Maybe more conversation with the child will definitely help.
Yeah, yeah. There is another question from Kavita. What will be the general mental situation of a teens during lockdown?
See, as I said, I mean, definitely one of the age groups which go through some challenge will be the teenage group. Uh, why? Because if you take as adults, maybe our perception of life is little different, right? Uh, so we have seen certain things, we can understand certain things. Even for us, it's a root shock, right? As I said, none of us have seen anything even closer to this. And younger kids will take a lot of inputs from parents because they don't see a lot of things by themselves. But teenage kids, they want to have their own identity. And now one of the biggest challenges, good number of them, they are all highly restricted with their thoughts, right? So still as parents, we have to give that space to them. So if they want to get connected with their friends online, want to have some chat, that is perfectly fine, right? As you know, school will be allowing that, but not too long. And we don't have any choice to ensure we spend more time than normal with them, right? We'll have to find ways to spend more activities to do with them. We have to find more ways to talk to them. That's something very, very important. Because just because teenage children are not expressing something will not mean they are not going through anything. That is one age where they go through a lot of challenges inside. Because for them, friends means a lot.
There is another question. Any advice on schedule adherence for teens? Should we put the hammer down or discipline or keeping talking to them?
I mean, it's style of parenting, right? I mean, certain time it's a mix which works. It's between the equation between you and your child, because many a times I have a chapter by name My Regiment at Home in my book, right? It's about a mom. All my one-on-one chapters are real life stories. Right? I'm listing down some 400, 500 of my real life stories which are interesting. Out of that, one-on-one I have picked up, right? So whatever was very interesting, I picked up. So that chapter is about a mom who is like completely timed the house. In the sense, 6 o'clock you have to get up, 8 o'clock you have to have your breakfast. I mean, it's so regulated, and the kids were like completely frustrated with that, right? I mean, so when you talk to the child was not feeling it's a home, right? I mean, it can't be something which is highly regimented. And end of it, what we have figured out is the mom is the one who has to change, right? And that really helped them a lot. And they started conversing more. So I will say a mix of style is always works the best, because children certain times likes you to be very strict. Because I have also come across children later in life who get back to the parents and ask the parents, you should have told me this straight. I know those kind of cases. Why? Because say for example, 15 years back I've trained 15-year-old child. Today it's like 30 years, right? So I come across live cases where the child feels, oh, you should have told me very strongly. You should not be that flexible to me, right? There are children who feel it much later in life. So I will strongly believe it's a mix of things. Only a parent can be strict to the child, nobody else. The next door auntie can't be strict. Only a mom can be strict. Your uncle can't be that strict. Only a dad can be strict. So I never buy in this fact of, oh, my child has become a teenager, so I am a friend to my child. No, you are the dad, you are the mom. We always understand the fact nobody else can be the mom and dad. You are the one. So you have to play a mixed style, right? Sometimes, yes, rapport is very important. And more important is being a mom and dad for your child.
Yeah. There is another question. If child is not going out for play, they get irritated. How to handle this?
See, I assume it is specific to this situation, and I'm also not sure of the age of the child. Not playing means should be a younger child. And the other fact is, if it is specific to this situation, I will say kids below 15, they have a huge impact of this situation, right? They have never used to it. They are not even stepping out of the houses, even if they have been asked to do it. Even when you go out, I'm sure your children do have a fear right now. So it will take some time. But as I said, as parents, we need to keep giving them a lot of right messages. Never allow them to get carried away by the fear. And it will not mean you underplay the fear completely, but use this fear in a very meaningful way. Let us not be indifferent to what is happening. What is happening outside is something very, very serious, right? So let us give a lot of respect for people who are giving up their life to save us. Let us give a lot of thought to the migrant workers who are struggling all through the country. So let us pass on that to our children, but it should be in the right way. So life is not going to stop, but they need to feel for it. They need to realize they are gifted.
There's another question. In terms of technology, how do we equip our kids to cope up with virtual classroom?
I mean, I will say kids are much, much smarter compared to you and me, right? See, they are born into the digital world, not you and me. When as parents we are born, there were no smartphones, there were no broadband and all this kind of stuff, right? And when your child was born, they are born into a digital world, right? So the connect with their digital learning, digital devices is extremely good. So how much they will learn, what they will learn, I will always tell parents, you don't be worried much. Children know what it is. Say the other part of it is distraction, right? Maybe relatively in a physical classroom, because there is a teacher in front of them monitoring them completely. They have been asked to throw away all the connectivity and then come into a school. That is not there. But at home, you can't spot out as a parent. Children can have even 5 windows. They can navigate so well, right? So you may get lost in that. So that is a concern. That I definitely agree with you. The only way to handle that is we have to keep inculcating a lot of life values to them. Right? We need to make them realize this is right, this is wrong. There was a parent who was asking me about cyberbullying. Oh, I'm very concerned. My child is spending 5-6 hours online. Right? I mean, it's we are transforming. We are going through a change. You can't stop it. Right? So only way is we can't leave the basics. We can't get out of our roots. Believe wherever roots we had, the Indian roots were like something extremely good, right? Our value systems, what we believed in was world class. So we need to keep inculcating that, and we need to tell children, impart a lot of life skills for them, right? At this point of time where we are going to depend more on technology, life skills becomes even more critical, right? We need to ensure children get those things, whether you are monitoring or not, it's my life, right? Once the child realizes that, I think everything will be taken care of. I mean, I don't want a parent or a teacher to monitor me every moment. It's more of me who has to do well, right?
There is a question from a parent. My children are small, very difficult to handle them from watching TV and more days. I do have a household work, so it's difficult to be with them every time.
Okay, maybe I will take, after this, I'll take one more question and then we'll call it as a session, right? I mean, as I said, we can't look forward for a solution instantly, right? Understand this very clearly. If not this event, we should have taken 5 years to reach wherever we are. Minimum, right? This is like a fast forward in life. We are like 2025 in no time, and we were not prepared for it. And if you take the digital journey, what we are going through, It is the beginning of the curve. None of us are prepared for it. None of us were prepared to sit with the family for 60 days at home, talking to others like this and watching TV, cooking at home, cleaning homes. I mean, these are all the things what the entire country is doing. We were not prepared for it. So if we expect a solution in such a short time, it's not going to happen. And when it comes to digital experience, it is just the beginning of the curve, right? We are just entering into it. Like how I always give this analogy of a motor car when we first found out. It's not that as we sat and we were able to drive at 100 kilometers per hour. Not exactly. There are no roads, right? Similar to that, there are no bandwidth today. Similar to that, cars were stopping then and there, right? You need to really kickstart, and it was so difficult. Once things become cold, you can't start your engine instantly. Then they found a battery. So it's a journey, right? It's not going to happen. 10 days I am on, and my children are all learning online. Not exactly. Understand this. This academic year is different for parents. This academic year is different for schools. Completely different for children. I mean, across globe. So because we are just starting, right? So it's going to be different. Only way we can support our children is support them in this journey of unknown experience. I mean, you have not experienced this as a parent, right? So we have to take it. We have to move forward. We have to go through this journey. We need to support each other. Parents have to support the teachers, because teachers are also finding it challenging. Teachers have to support the parents. School administration is all supporting the entire thing, because they have multiple stakeholders in the whole thing, right? So all of us are going through a new journey. Yeah, maybe we'll take one more question and call it as
there's one more question from one of the parents. My kids were allowed for very, very limited screen time, but now the situation is out of my hand and I have to engage them with online classes. Again, worried about more screen time. These kids are very early to learn about technology.
Right. I mean, I think in multiple points of time, I have actually answered this question. Right. One is more screen time is because one of the teachers was asking me, because the school was insisting so much to all the children, you should not spend time on your screen at all, right? And suddenly the entire classes are shifted online, right? So almost the child is spending, even small kids are spending like so much of time online today to learn something, right? And as I said, when we say new normal, which is becoming like a big word all across the globe. Why? Because this is a new normal. New normal is this, where when I met my teacher, which means I met my teacher online, right? That's a new normal. So if you are meeting your teacher in person, you need to specifically say, right? Till the time I'm not sure when we have a complete solution for this, right? And apart from it, as I said, as a parent, you need to understand, my child is too small to learn technology. Not exactly, right? Your child is born into the digital world. That is what we thought when we were young. Until the time, now we need to start believing technology is how we use it, right? It's a super powerful tool. Assume this. Assume if I don't have a technology today, I can't sit and talk to you. We cannot have an interaction like this. We cannot share our thoughts. So those things are not possible. Technology enables, because in my last one of the session, a teacher asked, I'm not able to express myself very well on this platform, right? Then the question is, if you don't even have this platform, what happens? You cannot even connect with your children. So we need to realize at this point of time, in this new normal, technology is a boon, right? Without technology, we'll be nowhere. So we need to understand it is up to us, up to our children to use, which again, as I said, we are the translators. We need to help them to use it in the useful way. So with this, I'll call this as a session. So once again,
thank you, Vidya.
once again,
Now, I request Mr. Sundar Sir, Principal of GTAM, to give the word of thanks.
You wanted to say something?
I thought I'll first thank all the parents who took this initiative to connect online, right? And apart from it, primarily your time, right? I mean, it's Saturday evening. You took your time off to get connected. Thanks for that. And apart from it, I once again thank the management of GT Group, right? Bharat Jyoti sir, Ramakrishnan sir, and Sundar sir for this wonderful opportunity to address all our parents. Thanks, sir. Thanks a lot.
Happy evening, sir. This is Dr. Sundar here. I believe I could sum up your session with one word, say acceptance. I believe this parenting session will be very fruitful for all the parents, and they would have been ready to accept your words of wisdom, what you have been sharing us for past more than 1 hour. I could see a lot of inputs have been given on how the current era of parenting has to be done. I believe parents are ready to break the pattern, which you have been requesting us for quite a long time. And they will be successful in overcoming the fear. And I think so they are ready to accept the situation also and allow the uncertainty which is happening right now, because this lockdown is not going to end as soon as what we are expecting it. I believe the parents have the power to choose also. So on behalf of GTGI, I would like to thank Mr. Vidya Shankar Guru for giving us this wonderful session for us. And I would like to thank Mr. Lakshmi Narayanan and Mr. Sampath from Only Success for able to put up a wonderful parenting session for us, for the entire GTGI group of parents. Thank you once again, sir, from our side.
Thank you all the parents. Our trainers will be connecting with, with your children from June in the online sessions actually. Thanks, Bharat sir. Thanks, Ramakrishnan sir. Thanks, Sundar sir. Kausar ma'am also there. Thanks, ma'am, actually. Thanks all the parents once again. From
Thank
Lakshmi Narayanan and Only Success. Yeah,
And I
thanks.
also thank Lakshmi Narayanan and Sampath for putting this together. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vidya.
Thank you so much.